Hello, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the negatives of Jurassic World Dominion. Of course, this is going to be not a hating on Jurassic World Dominion. Instead, this is going to be me critiquing, of course, the movie. The movie, of course, came out last year, and today I'm going to be critiquing all the, of course, negatives of Jurassic World Dominion. So, let's get started. The negatives of Jurassic World Dominion with Dimetrodon is that it wasn't properly introduced by any of the characters or anybody in, of course, the movie. Of course, Dimetrodon, of course, wasn't properly introduced, and this is one of the negatives I have with Dimetrodon. Dimetrodon itself is not a dinosaur. Instead, it's a synapsid that lived before the dinosaurs during the late Permian and, of course, the Permian era, which, of course, was like millions of years before dinosaurs. And, of course, it is not a dinosaur. It is a synapsid. Next prehistoric creature that we're moving on to is, of course, the negatives of Jurassic World Dominion. Number 2 being Pyroraptor. Pyroraptor, the negatives of Pyroraptor is very little is known of course, Pyroraptor. Pyroraptor, of course, is not the first dinosaur with bird-like features in this franchise. It is given a full feathery coat, and the name Pyroraptor, meaning Olympic fire thief, of course, is a pretty cool name. It is a dromaeosaurid and lived in the Cretaceous period at 83.5 to 70.6 million years ago. And of course, very little is known about this dinosaur because paleontologists have found they haven't found that many fossils of Pyroraptor, and Pyroraptor itself is a cool creature. It has a toe claw, of course, like all raptors in this franchise. It, of course, I'd say is the first with full feathers on it. And of course, I can definitely praise this Pyroraptor in many aspects, but there, of course, is many negatives to this dinosaur that, of course, I have to talk about too. The first negative is that Pyroraptor in, of course, Jurassic World Dominion, of course, swam. We don't know for sure if Pyroraptor could swim, and of course, we don't know if raptors were aquatic. Of course, this is just something Jurassic World Dominion made up probably to fill in some time in the movie, just adding like a swimming scene where we see the Pyroraptor swimming. And of course, Pyroraptor itself, I don't know if it can swim, being a dinosaur nerd myself. So that's pretty much it. Besides it being not that much known about Pyroraptor, and that very few bones and remains of it, fossils, have been found, probably in the next few years or so, Pyroraptor, I'm just throwing it out there, maybe be a made-up dinosaur. Who knows? So we're going to be moving on to the third and last dinosaur now. So, yeah. Moving on now from Pyroraptor and it having very few fossils found, we're going to be moving on to the final and last dinosaur of course, the movie Jurassic World Dominion with its many positives, like in the first video, and now with the negatives, we'll have to talk about the Giganotosaurus. The Giganotosaurus itself, of course, I very much liked about the Giganotosaurus in this movie, but in this video I'm going to have to be talking about the negatives of course, the Giganotosaurus. One of the many negatives of the Giganotosaurus itself, whether you pronounce it Giga, is that it got maybe 5 scenes of screen time, that being, of course, there's when it was sleeping, when of course it interacted with Rexy, and of course being the last two being the locusts being on fire, and of course there's the final battle scene. Giganotosaurus, of course, this negative, of course, is going to be a very strong negative in that it didn't need anybody. One thing Jurassic World Dominion lacks is that it has very few kills. It only got, I'd say, 3 kills in Malta on screen, and then 2, I'd say, so kills off screen with, of course, I'd say few of Barry's agents getting eaten by the Atrociraptors, and of course, I think those are all the kills next to, of course, Lewis Dodgson being eaten at the end of the film. So the Jurassic one thing that the Jurassic World Dominion film didn't have was any Giga kills. The Giganotosaurus did not kill anybody. It was highly thought from the trailer that it would eat Ian Malcolm, but Ian Malcolm survived at the end of the movie. So one of the many things is that the Giganotosaurus ate nobody throughout this movie. And that's a pretty big downer for, I'd say. And those are all the negatives of Jurassic World Dominion. I hope you enjoyed. Until next video, of course. This has been, of course, Christopher here, of course, with the negatives of Jurassic World Dominion finally over. If you're new here, please leave a like, whether it's a thumbs up button or a heart button, and make sure you subscribe to stay in the loop of upcoming videos. Until next time, signing off.